When it comes to relationships, whether they are friendships, family ties, or even professional connections, one of the most painful realizations is understanding that someone simply does not care about you. This realization can hurt deeply because we often give our time, emotions, and energy to people, expecting that they will value us in return. But not everyone has your best interest at heart, and some people reveal this through subtle, consistent behaviors that, when recognized, make the truth undeniable. The first behavior you notice is indifference. When someone truly cares about you, they show interest in your life, your struggles, your joys, your goals, and even your little stories. But when they do not care, they remain distant. They will not ask how you are doing, they will not remember the details you've shared, and they will never go out of their way to make you feel heard. Their lack of curiosity about you speaks louder than words. Another behavior is selfishness. People who do not care about you are only around when it benefits them. They reach out when they need something, but they are nowhere to be found when you are the one in need. They see you not as a person with feelings, but as a resource to be used for their own gain. This one-sided relationship drains you and makes you realize that care and concern are missing. There is also the behavior of disrespect. If someone constantly belittles you, ignores your boundaries, or makes you feel unimportant, it is a clear sign that your well-being does not matter to them. Caring for someone always involves respect for their time, their emotions, and their dignity. When that is absent, you are only holding on to the illusion of a relationship rather than the reality of one. Neglect is another form of uncaring behavior. This shows up when someone cannot even put in the smallest effort to maintain the connection. They forget important dates, fail to return calls, and do not prioritize spending time with you. To them, keeping the bond alive is not worth their effort. This neglect slowly eats away at the relationship until it becomes hollow. Then comes dishonesty. People who do not care about you will lie to you, manipulate you, or hide the truth because they feel no responsibility toward your trust. They do not consider how their words and actions will affect you because in their mind your feelings do not hold any weight. Lies and deception are the clearest forms of betrayal and proof of indifference. Finally, there is the behavior of emotional absence. Even when they are physically present, they are emotionally unavailable. They are not there to comfort you, support you, or celebrate your wins. They remain detached, leaving you to feel lonely even in their company. Their absence in moments when you need them the most reveals that their heart is not invested in you. Recognizing these behaviors is difficult, but it is necessary. It protects you from pouring love, energy, and loyalty into people who are not capable of reciprocating it. Sometimes walking away is the only way to protect your peace, because caring about someone who does not care about you is one of the heaviest burdens you can carry. Indifference is one of the clearest signs that a person does not truly care about you, and it often shows itself in subtle ways that can easily be overlooked. When someone genuinely values you, they are curious about your life. They remember the details you share, they check in when you are going through difficulties, and they celebrate with you when things go well. But when indifference exists, there is no such effort. A person who does not care will never take the time to ask how you are doing in a meaningful way. And if they do ask, their attention is elsewhere, and their responses are short and dismissive. It feels as though you are talking to a wall rather than to someone who sees your worth. Over time, this lack of engagement creates a sense of emptiness because it is not about big actions being missing, but about the everyday little gestures that show love, respect, and connection. The dangerous part about indifference is that it often masquerades as busyness or distraction. Someone may tell you that they were too busy to reply, too overwhelmed to listen, or too caught up in their own world to care about yours. While everyone can have seasons of stress, the consistent pattern of being uninterested reveals the truth. People who care will make time, even in small ways, to let you know you matter. Those who do not care will continue to place you at the bottom of their list and will have no guilt about it. The sad reality is that their silence or lack of effort speaks volumes. This indifference can also make you question yourself. You may start to wonder if you are being too demanding or too sensitive. But it is not about demanding too much. It is about expecting the bare minimum of human connection. No one should have to beg for attention, respect, or acknowledgement in a relationship. When someone consistently acts indifferent, they are silently telling you that your presence, feelings, and experiences are not significant to them. That truth hurts, but it is also freeing, because once you recognize indifference, you can stop wasting your energy trying to force someone to care who has no intention of doing so. Selfishness is another unmistakable behavior of people who do not care about you, and it often shows itself in the way they approach the relationship. Instead of valuing the bond for what it truly is, they only see you as a means to fulfill their own needs. These individuals are quick to reach out when they need help, advice, or support, but when the tables turn and you are the one in need, they are nowhere to be found. Their presence is conditional, tied only to what they can gain from you, rather than to any genuine concern for your well-being. Over time, this creates a one-sided relationship where you are giving, sacrificing, and showing up while they are taking, consuming, and benefiting without returning the effort. This type of selfishness becomes draining because it leaves you carrying the weight of the relationship alone. Instead of feeling like a valued friend, partner, or family member, you begin to feel like a tool, useful only when they want something. They may disguise their selfishness in charm, flattery, or excuses, but if you look closely, the pattern is always the same. Your value to them is based on your usefulness, not your humanity. When someone truly cares, they will invest in you even when there is nothing to gain. But when care is absent, their selfishness dominates, and they will leave you feeling used and unappreciated. This behavior also erodes trust. A relationship is supposed to be built on mutual give and take, where both people contribute to each other's growth and happiness. But when selfishness rules, the balance is destroyed. You may notice they only call when they want a favor, only spend time with you when it benefits them, or only offer kindness when it serves their own image. Their actions reveal that the relationship is not about connection, it is about convenience. The most painful part of dealing with selfish people is realism, in that they are often fully aware of what they are doing. They know you care, and they use your kindness as fuel for their own advantage. Instead of cherishing your loyalty, they exploit it. Recognizing this selfishness is not easy because it often comes wrapped in excuses and occasional gestures of affection. But once you see the truth, you understand that genuine care can never grow in the soil of selfishness. It requires reciprocity, and without it, the bond will always remain hollow. Disrespect is one of the strongest indicators that someone does not truly care about you, and it reveals itself in many different ways. A person who values you will treat you with dignity, kindness, and consideration, but someone who does not care will consistently disregard your feelings and boundaries. They may talk down to you, mock your opinions, or make you feel small in conversations. Sometimes the disrespect is blatant, like constant criticism or insults, and other times it is subtle, such as dismissing your words or rolling their eyes when you speak. Regardless of how it shows up, the message behind it is clear. They do not see you as someone worthy of honor or genuine respect. When someone does not care about you, your time also loses its value in their eyes. They may show up late without apologizing, cancel plans without considering how it affects you, or demand your attention without giving any in return. This disregard for your time shows that they place their priorities far above yours and expect you to adjust without complaint. Respect is not just about words, it is also about actions. And when those actions continually minimize your worth, it becomes undeniable that the relationship is built on shaky ground. Disrespect also shows up in how they handle your boundaries. If you tell them something makes you uncomfortable, they ignore it. If you express your needs, they brush them aside or twist them to suit their own agenda. Instead of listening and honoring your limits, they cross them repeatedly, showing that your comfort and well-being are not important to them. This lack of respect for boundaries is especially damaging because it strips away your sense of safety in the relationship and leaves you feeling unseen and unheard. Another layer of disrespect comes from how they treat you in front of others. Someone who does not care may use sarcasm, jokes, or public criticism to make you look small while they appear superior. This behavior not only hurts in the moment, but also chips away at your self-esteem over time. A person who genuinely values you would never intentionally humiliate or belittle you for amusement or control. Ultimately, disrespect makes it impossible to feel loved or secure because care and respect always go hand in hand. Without respect, what remains is a hollow connection where your value is consistently ignored. The more you allow disrespect to continue, the more it drains your spirit, leaving you questioning your worth in a relationship where the truth is already clear. Neglect is another powerful sign that someone does not care about you, and it can be even more painful than open conflict because it slowly erodes the bond without dramatic moments. When a person values you, they will make an effort to maintain the connection no matter how busy life gets. They will check in, send a message, or carve out time just to show that you matter. But neglect shows itself when someone repeatedly fails to prioritize you. They forget important dates, they do not return your calls, they never initiate conversations, and they rarely show interest in spending meaningful time together. Over time, this lack of effort makes the relationship feel one-sided and empty. Neglect is often subtle, which makes it dangerous. At first, you may excuse their behavior, telling yourself that they are busy, stressed, or preoccupied. But as the pattern continues, you begin to realize that the absence of attention is not temporary. It is their normal way of treating you. When someone cares, they will make even small efforts to connect, like sending a quick text or asking how your day went. But when someone neglects you, they do not feel any responsibility to nurture the relationship, leaving you carrying the weight of keeping it alive. What makes neglect so damaging is that it forces you into a position where you are constantly questioning yourself. You may start to wonder if you are asking for too much or if you are somehow not worth the effort. But the truth is that genuine relationships thrive on consistent care and attention, not occasional crumbs of interaction. Neglect is not about being too busy. It is about choosing not to make you a priority. Everyone makes time for what matters to them, and if you are always the one waiting, hoping, and reaching out, then the answer is already clear. Neglect also creates emotional distance that becomes harder to bridge with. Time. When someone repeatedly fails to show up for you, you stop sharing as much of yourself. You withhold your thoughts, your joys, and your struggles because you already know they will not care enough to listen. This emotional withdrawal is the natural result of their neglect, and eventually the relationship becomes hollow, existing in name only but devoid of substance. Recognizing neglect is painful, but it is also freeing because it helps you see that you deserve more than to be treated as an afterthought in someone's life. Dishonesty is one of the clearest and most damaging signs that someone does not truly care about you. When people value you, they protect your trust as something precious, choosing to be honest even when it is uncomfortable. But when care is absent, lying, hiding, and manipulating become their normal behaviors. A person who does not care will say whatever benefits them in the moment without worrying about how it will affect you. They may tell half-truths, make empty promises, or twist situations to avoid accountability. Over time, these lies erode the foundation of the relationship, leaving you uncertain about what is real and what is not. The harm of dishonesty is not just in the lies themselves, but in the betrayal of trust. Trust is the core of every relationship, whether it is friendship, family, or love. Without it, everything else crumbles. When someone lies to you repeatedly, they are showing that your trust is not valuable to them. They do not fear losing your confidence because deep down they are not invested in the bond you share. Their deception is proof that your feelings and peace of mind are not priorities in their world. Dishonesty also creates confusion and emotional exhaustion. You may find yourself constantly second-guessing their words, trying to piece together the truth from fragments of lies. This mental and emotional toll can leave you feeling drained, insecure, and even questioning your own judgment. Instead of building you up, the relationship keeps you in a cycle of doubt and suspicion. Someone who cares for you would never want to keep you in such a state. Instead, they would seek to reassure you through honesty and transparency. Another painful aspect of dishonesty is manipulation. A person who does not care may use lies to control you, to cover up their mistakes, or to keep you from walking away. They may feed you false hope, pretending, known to change or promising better behavior, only to repeat the same patterns once they feel secure again. These tactics are not born from love, but from selfishness and convenience. Ultimately, dishonesty is a declaration of indifference. When someone lies to you, they are making a choice. Their comfort matters more than your truth, their convenience more than your trust. Recognizing dishonesty for what it is allows you to see that the relationship is not grounded in respect or care. And once you see that clearly, you can begin to free yourself from the cycle of deception. Emotional absence is one of the most painful behaviors of people who do not care about you because it makes you feel lonely even when you are not alone. A person can sit beside you, share the same room, or even spend hours in your presence, yet still be completely unavailable on an emotional level. When someone truly cares, they are attentive to your feelings. They comfort you when you are down, celebrate your victories, and listen when you need to talk. But when they do not care, they remain distant, detached, and unmoved by your experiences. Their lack of emotional presence creates a gap that no amount of physical proximity can fill. This absence shows itself in many ways. You may notice that when you share something important, they respond with indifference, changing the subject or offering shallow replies. When you are hurting, they do not step in to support you, either with words or actions. Even in joyful moments, their enthusiasm is missing, leaving you to celebrate alone. Over time, this emotional coldness leaves you feeling invisible, as though your inner world does not matter to them at all. Genuine relationships require emotional investment, but when someone does not care, they withdraw that completely, leaving only a shell of connection. One of the hardest parts about emotional absence is how subtle it can be. Unlike disrespect or dishonesty, which are easier to identify, emotional distance creeps in quietly. At first, you may excuse it, telling yourself they are tired, stressed, or just not expressive. But as it becomes a pattern, you realize that their heart is simply not in the relationship. They might show up out of obligation, but their lack of empathy and emotional involvement reveals the truth. They are not invested in your happiness or well-being. The consequences of this absence are profound. You begin to withhold your feelings, knowing they will not care enough to respond with warmth or understanding. You start carrying your burdens alone because opening up feels pointless. The bond that once seemed alive becomes hollow, and the silence between you grows heavier each day. Emotional absence is not just about what they fail to give, it is about the message behind it. You are not worth their care or attention. Recognizing this behavior can be painful, but it also shines a light on the truth that love, friendship, and loyalty cannot exist without emotional presence.